Let's take you live now to the Federal Police news conference. Reece Kershaw, the Commissioner, responding to the High Court judgment in the case of the raid on Annika Smethurst's home.
Decide to prosecute Annika Smethurst?
That's a legal question, and I guess speculating on that wouldn't be right, but there's a difference between, I guess, illegally obtained evidence and admissible evidence, and that's a question that we've asked our in-house legal team.
This has been ongoing now for nearly a year. When would you like to see this resolved one way or another?
I think all of us want to see this resolved as expeditiously as possible. We had anticipated to be able to finish this earlier, noting that we were having to be respectful of both court processes in the Federal Court and in the High Court.
So do you have any time frame as to when this oversight board might have to make a decision on what to do with the investigations?
They'll move pretty quickly.
Within weeks?
Yeah, within, I'd say, a number of weeks, noting that we, when you seek advice from our legal section, that can take a little while, and there's some other decisions that need to be taken. So it'll be done as quickly as we can.
Can you update us on the investigation into the actual source of the leak? Are the Australian Federal Police pursuing former official Cameron Gill, and what's going to happen with that?
I can say that the matter is still current, so it's not. It hasn't ceased or ended, so it's a current investigation.
Do you have any message to Annika Smethurst following the High Court decision?
I think only that every Australian has the right to challenge these types of matters, and it's been challenged, and we live in a great democracy, and we respect the court's decision.
Are you disappointed or embarrassed that it has been thrown out on the fact that it was an invalid warrant to begin with?
I think in policing in general, I mean, our job is to bring matters before court, or obviously take advice, and the judgments from the court are binding with us. So for us, it's about being respectful of the court process, which we are.
And what will the AFP do differently to ensure there are no further illegal raids?
Yeah, well, for us, first of all, we don't set out to do illegal raids. Our officers act in good faith and in accordance with the law, and the court system is there to provide, I guess, an opportunity for those to challenge the validity, it was deemed invalid. But setting up the Sensitive Investigation Board, I think we learn from these particular matters, and we'll be implementing any changes that are required.
Media companies are still calling for reform. Have you looked at how the AFP could deal with contestable warrants when it comes to journalists in the future?
We have, and we did actually put in a submission with the Home Affairs, a joint submission into the PJ, the Parliamentary Joint Committee, in relation to this, in relation to a less intrusive framework around notice to produce.
Ask you one other topic. Recently, some AFP cadets at the college here in Barton were seen to be partying, sort of in breach of the social distancing regulations we have now. Where is that investigation at? Are those cadets likely to be disciplined or counselled?
The answer is yes. We've investigated that matter, and it is ongoing. I'm able to say that there are a number of officers who have been served with what we call show cause notices, which is to show cause why your employment shouldn't be terminated. So it's at the highest end, and we'll also be taking action into a number of other individuals that are involved in that.
What would that actually entail?
That's the Federal Police Commissioner, Reece Kershaw. Let's bring in our political editor, Andrew Clennell. Andrew, the Commissioner announced a new sensitive investigation oversight board. It's going to be chaired by a Deputy Commissioner of Police, basically clearly trying to avoid any stuff-up like this where it's been thrown out in the High Court.
Yeah, well, I don't know what this means, really. I mean, I would have thought on a high-profile raid like this, the Commissioner would have visibility of it anyway, Kieran. So it kind of looks like window dressing a bit, to be perfectly honest, to say I'm setting up a board with my deputy on it to see if this should happen again. I think we can say one thing pretty safely out of this whole saga, Kieran. It will be a long time before the Australian Federal Police is raiding a journalist's home again. Everyone knows this was over the top. Everyone knows that there's some pretty selective judgment made on which leaks to go hard on in terms of investigating and which not. And this has been a bit of an embarrassment for the government and the federal police. And poor old Reece Kershaw, he wasn't even Commissioner at the time and he has to wear it. So certainly anything that puts police resources in a better direction than investigating leaks to journalists would be welcomed by us, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Embarrassing, to say the least, for the federal police and its handling of that particular matter.